In this video, we're going to have a look at calculating the area of a sector. Now, a sector is just a portion of a circle, a bit like a slice of cake or a slice of pizza. So it's not a complete circle, it's a portion of it. And a typical GCSE question that you're going to be asked is find the area of that shape. Now, in order to find the area of that shape, you're going to be given a couple of bits of information. The first thing you're going to be given is the length of these two sides here. Now, these are actually both the same length because they're actually just the radius of the circle. This is the center of the circle here at the corner of your sector, and then this is clearly the outside edge of the circle. So both these lengths represent the radius. So in this question, the radius of this circle is going to be 8. So both these lengths are 8. And we're also going to be given the angle inside the sector, okay, how wide this section of the circle is. In this question, we're going to say this is 70 degrees. Okay, so in order to find the area of this sector, you're actually going to have to think about the whole circle rather than just that portion. And what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what the area of this whole circle would be rather than just this part of it. So the area of a whole circle, you should know, is given by the formula pi r squared. Okay, so in this case, our radius is 8, so it becomes pi times 8 squared, and 8 squared is 64, so we're just going to leave it as 64 times pi, 64 pi, and I'm not going to worry about getting an answer in terms of a decimal for this. It'll be around 200, but leaving it as 64 pi is absolutely fine. Now what we need to think about is we need to think about how wide is this section of the circle compared to the whole thing. Well, we know that the angle all the way around the circle is 360 degrees. So what we should think about is, well, how big is this section compared to the whole thing? And we can represent that as a fraction. We can say that that section, that sector of the circle, makes up 70 out of 360 degrees of the whole circle. So it's this area here, 70 degrees out of the whole thing, which is 360. So we can say it's this fraction of the circle that this section, this sector right here, makes up. So all we need to do is we need to take this fraction, we need to multiply by the area of the whole thing. We don't want a quarter of the whole thing, we don't want a half of the whole thing, or a third of the whole thing. What we want is we want 70 360ths of it, because that's what this sector makes up. So we take this fraction, 70 360ths, and we multiply by the area of the whole thing, which, as we calculated before, is 64 pi. And this is going to give us our area of our sector. Okay. So if we put all of this into a calculator, 70 over 360 gives us 0.194. So we can take this in steps. So this is 0.194. The 4 is actually recurring. You don't need to break this down to steps. You can put it all in at the same time if you want to. I'm just breaking it down so you can see where all the numbers are going to come from. I'll leave that as 64 pi for now. And then if we type this into our calculator, we get the answer of 39.095 and a few more decimal places. 39.095. And if you don't have a complete answer, if it runs on for a few more decimal places, but you don't want to write all of those, a great way of representing it is to put a few dots after it, just to let the examiner know that this isn't the finished answer, you just didn't write in the rest of the decimal places. The reason you would want to do that is because a lot of these questions will ask you to round to 3 significant figures, so all of these decimal places down here don't actually matter when it comes to the answer. We've got enough information in these first few numbers to round this to 3 significant figures. If you're unsure about rounding to significant figures or decimal places, then this is the best technique to do it. What you want to do is you want to count from your first significant figure. In this case, remember, significant figures, it doesn't matter where the decimal place is, it only matters where your first real number is. So this is our first significant figure, this 3 here. This will be our second one, which is the 9. Our third one will be the 0. And wherever you want to break that number off, just put a dashed line through your number. So we said 3 significant figures, so I've included the first 3 and then put a dashed line after the third one. And now all we're going to do is look at either side of this dashed line, and we're going to say, does this number on the outside of the dashed line round the final number up, or does it keep it as it is? If this number just on the outside, this one here, if this is bigger than 5, or 5 or greater, so if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then it will round this number up. If it's less than 5, this number won't change. As soon as though this is a 9, clearly we're going to round this 0 up to a 1. So our answer becomes 39.1. And that's all there is to it.